Ever wonder why serial killers commit the acts that they do? Most of them show signs of psychotic behavior early on in their childhood and early on in their youth. According to Radford University, 31.8% kill for enjoyment, 30.1% kill for financial gains, and 18.1% kill for anger. In this informational speech, I'm going to give you information on 3 serial killers in particular. 1, Jeffrey Dahmer, 2, Ted Bundy, and last being John Wayne Gacy. First, Jeffrey Dahmer's span of killings lasted from 1978 to 1991. He was born May 21st, 1960, in a fairly good home. He wasn't abused or anything like that. He was just out of place with the world. He didn't have many friends, and he often collected roadkill on the side of the road, took it back to his house, and performed operations on them and kept them in his house. He skinned them and kept them in jars in his refrigerator. And he even told one of his friends that he would like to do that to a human one day when he was 8 years old or so. He was an alcoholic. He started drinking in the 8th grade and became a full-blown alcoholic. And when he was caught in July 22nd, 1991, he was sentenced to 967 years in prison. He kept the heads of his victim in his fridge and often different body parts in his fridge. Next being Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was born November 24th, 1946. He killed at least 35 people. His span of killings lasted from 1973 to 1978. He often strangled his victims and performed necrophilia on them, which is he often revisited the bodies and had sexual intercourse with them. He would pretend that to catch his victims, he would pretend that he was injured and ask for their help, mostly being young girls, almost all of them being at least high school girls or brunettes. He would pretend that he was injured, had them follow them to his car, and then as soon as they turned around, he would hit them with a crowbar or something like that, take them to somewhere that he couldn't get caught, and rape them and strangle them. He was socially disconnected in high school, and he didn't know how to be friends or how to love or even how to become friends with anyone in his high school. He was extremely educated, and he was awarded a scholarship to the University of Washington. When he was caught and he lived in prison, he said that pornography made him do it. And I'm going to quote him, and he said, "I lived in prison for a long time. I met a lot of men like me who was motivated to commit this violence. And everyone was deeply involved in pornography." He said he often committed these acts because his pornography that he watched kept getting more violent, and then it often led him to actually commit these acts to get some kind of a better rush out of it. Next, I'm going to talk about John Wayne Gacy. Now, he was a little different. He was actually a model citizen and a manager. He also was, he often volunteered at kids' birthday parties, and he dressed up as a clown and for their entertainment for free. And he was a part of legislation board of Chicago, Illinois. His span of killings lasted from 1972 to 1978. He was caught in December of 1978. They also called media and everybody called him the Killer Clown because he would often dress up and go to birthday parties as a clown. He raped and killed at least 33 young boys and men, which he buried at 24 or 25 of them right up under his house and in the back of his yard. And 3 of them, I believe, he threw over into the river. He used to pick up male prostitutes and teens and promise them money. And when he got them back to his house, he would kill them or strangle them and not let them leave, and end up raping them or sodomizing them and then burying them under his porch. A few of the victims' mothers actually went to the police years before he even got caught and told them to investigate John Wayne Gacy, but they never followed up on it. And this probably could have been stopped 10 years before it started, or before it ended. But the police never believed the women that went forward and told him about it, and he never got investigated. And he was killed on May 10th, 1994, he was killed by lethal injection. So many fathers, co-workers, model citizens, educators. We all live right beside at least one serial killer or potential to be one serial killer. I believe everybody has something that can make them tick. And I'm not saying everybody's a serial killer, but I believe everybody has something that just makes them tick or makes them mad or something like that. But these people, these serial killers, take it to the next level. Some of them were grandsons, fathers, model citizens, some extremely educated. I mean, you never know who you're walking by or who your neighbor is. We constantly ask why, wanting to figure out why these serial killers did what they've done, but to be honest, no one really knows. And some of them, a lot of them, their childhoods are a lot different from one another. Some of them were abused, some of them weren't. Some of them kill and keep their victims as trophies, and some of them don't. We just don't know why. But most of them, according to Radford University, kill for enjoyment or financial gain.